Good morning, everybody. Let's just start. Matt, you can just start letting all these people in. We can start chatting a little bit here with everybody. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Who's got that program logo? Who's that, Judd? I love that logo. What's up, Jacob, Carolyn? Morning, Christina.
Morning.
How you doing today?
Really good. Can't complain.
You got any guests on the call today?
Yes, I do. I have, I was on a Zoom for 3 hours with a mega agent from Keller Williams. I'm going to be showing her a Regis space right after this, and she is very interested in EXP.
I love it. What's up, Donnie? How you doing, brother? Donnie's got a whole party going on in his living room. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. He even serves, hey, next week, everybody at party at Donnie's house. Let's all do the Zoom from Donnie's place. What are you serving up there, Donnie?
When you tell me what you're serving, I don't even know what this stuff is.
It looks delicious, brother. Hey, Jeff, good morning.
All Filipino dishes.
Well, listen, I'm gonna get into it here. How are we doing on time? What time is it exactly? We're ready to rock. 10:02. Listen, I want to be respectful of everybody's time. Make sure we get everybody in here. I'm going to start setting up my screen just so I can go through a little bit of this stuff. Listen, folks, I mean, you're all here to learn about the EXP opportunity. The best way I can say even if you've seen something like this before, or you think you've seen it before, you haven't seen it the way I present it, because otherwise you'd be over. Okay. And so I'm going to go through a lot of the numbers. I'm going to go through a lot of the high level stuff, the wealth creation stuff, the generational income stuff. And then we're going to do a little Q&A. We're going to do a little some testimonials, talk to some people, see how their success stories are going with it inside of EXP, and then we'll see who wants to jump in with us. And then obviously, if you have any questions about the tools, the training, the support, the education, I mean, just rest assured, it's some of the best in the business. I mean, the tech package is unbelievable. Super low cost brokerage to begin with. We only have a 16K cap. We only have it's $150 to join. But when I think about like the cap, what you spend in cap, what you spend in fees, what you spend in all that stuff, the mindset you want to have when you look through this presentation today is you want to think of it like I'm presenting an investment opportunity. Okay. I've been spending a lot of time in the investor space over the last couple of years, and I'm around a lot of investors. I'm dealing with a lot of investors. I'm investing, I'm taking investment money. And so, the most important thing, or if anybody wants to punch it in the text chat or turn their mic on and say it out loud, if you're looking at an investment opportunity, what's the most important thing you're trying to find out? I mean, obviously, how much am I going to have to invest? But after that, what's the second most important thing you want to find out?
What's my return?
What's my return? Right. So as we go through this presentation, I want you to look at it with an investor mind and with an investor mindset. And really the question you should be asking yourself is, what's going to be the return if I invest my real estate business, if I invest this time commitment, this life force commitment, and your reputation, your social capital, you tell everybody, hey, I'm going to work for XYZ company now. So if you're going to take on this brand, the question you should always ask, and really of anything you do, is what's going to be my return? And as we go through this, I'm not going to put a guarantee on the box, but if I was to put a guarantee or a warranty, and we'll put a warranty since that's a real estate term. If I was to put a warranty in a box for this presentation, I guarantee that if you do absolutely nothing more than you're already doing, but you do it at EXP, the return will be exponentially greater than in any other brokerage. Okay. So that's the theory I'm going to put out there today. And now I'm going to go through and prove how that works. Okay. So I'm going to demonstrate, or I'm going to prove how if you just bring your business or invest your business into EXP Realty, the return on that investment will be exponentially greater than at any other brokerage. Okay. So here's how we do it. Again, welcome to EXP. This is an intro to EXP. My name is Brian Culhane. I've been with EXP now. Well, I helped start EXP. As a matter of fact, I've been working with Glenn Sanford for getting close to 17 years. I started in real estate after 29 winters in Chicago. I'm kind of that proverbial rags to riches story. You know, I grew up in the mean streets of a 1% community in the north suburbs of Chicago, but you know, I was on the other side of the glass. I was a caddy. I was a busboy. Let's just say I wasn't born on third base, but I, you know, I studied and I grew up around very successful people. A lot of my friends' fathers were the president of Allstate, president of Pepsi, you know, president of the Chicago Bulls, et cetera, et cetera. And so I just, you know, watched how they operated. I studied them. I learned from them. And then more importantly, I implemented, you know, as much as I could from what I learned. And that's really the magic, folks. It's surround yourself with smart people and then like implement what they do and copy them, emulate them, you know, borrow from them, you know, et cetera. And then implement that, right? So that's the real key, and set your intention and then implement. But so I ended up following at the footsteps of Glenn Sanford's dojo, probably in 2004. I met Glenn off of a Craigslist ad. I was broke as a joke, collecting unemployment, getting ready to wait tables at Eddie V's Steakhouse here in Arizona. And then I ran into Glenn Sanford. He actually offered me a team leader position, and I hadn't even passed my real estate test yet. And so all I knew was Glenn had leads, and leads sounded really good to me. This is again 2004. I don't think too many people even knew what internet leads were, but Glenn had them. And so I jumped in with Glenn. I ran his team for Keller Williams for 3.5 years. After that, we were doing so well, we stepped out of Keller and we launched a traditional brokerage called Buyer Tours. That was in 2008. Now, if you know Glenn or have learned about Glenn or will learn about Glenn, is you'll realize he's a big picture thinker. The guy never does anything small. Everything he does is big. He dreams big, he thinks big, he implements big, and he grows big. You know, when I met Glenn, he was living out of a RV. They had foreclosed on his house up in Bellingham, Washington. He was squatting for a few months because they didn't have the bandwidth to even kick him out. And so when we launched EXP, we had very little money. It was the worst economy of our lifetimes. And everybody thought we were just a bunch of geeks who like to play video games and didn't want to go into an office. Okay. You know, we took it around, showed 1 million people. Everybody laughed at us. You know, it must have been like what their early Netflix founders experienced when they went into Blockbuster and said, hey, do you guys want to buy us? And they get out of here. That'll never work. Right. Well, who's laughing now? Right. So that's kind of been our experience. Now, flash forward 60,000 agents later, 17 countries later. I think the model works. I think Glenn and I were just doing some rough math the other day, but, you know, I was looking at some calculations and I came up with a kind of a figure of we've probably created over 3,000 millionaires since we went public. If you add the rev share, the top producing agents that have become millionaires, and the stock, it's closing in on you know, probably over 1,000 to 3,000 people. That is Glenn's purpose, by the way, is to create more millionaires in the real estate space than any other company in history. And so we're well on our way. And we leverage that by basically, if you want to know what the model is in a nutshell, okay, here's a tiny nutshell. Here's the model in a nutshell. We got rid of the fat. We got rid of bricks and mortar. We got rid of redundant staffing. We got rid of redundant overhead. We learned that lesson in 2009 when the market crashed. So that's when we got rid of all our bricks and mortar. That's when we shut everything down. And that's when we found a cloud office and we started meeting every day in the cloud. By the way, the term cloud hadn't even been invented yet. So it was like a 3D immersive office environment, or as Glenn called us, the world's first fully immersive Web 3.0 real estate company. That didn't fit so good on the back of my business card. So the word cloud was a great solution. But needless to say, you know, cutting the fat out of real estate allows for us to do two very important things for you. It allows for us to give you stock, right? So you get stock. You can earn stock 5 ways at EXP. All 5 are based in production. And it gives you revenue share. So we share revenue with the agents who help us grow this company. Now, you don't have to do that part. All right. Let me just say that right now. If you get skeeved out and you really hate making money and you just think that that's a total scheme and your mom and your sister are going to say, stop calling me and trying to get me to join EXP. That's a crock of you know what, because that's actually not the case, right? I'm changing lives. I actually have recruited my sister, my brother, my best friend growing up, and many other friends and family members, but not because I'm trying to sell them juice, because I'm trying to change their life. I'm trying to give them this opportunity where they can create massive amounts of wealth and create a legacy for themselves and their family so they can leave something behind from a life of sales, because sales is transactional and creating wealth is transformative. Okay. You can't, if you're just a one person or one man, one woman business, guess what? Glenn would say, you don't have a business. Okay. If something happens to you, you fall off your mountain bike and break your hip like I did in 2011. You better have another source of income. If you can't get out of bed for 6 months, right? Or something happens to a family member, or you want to take a couple months off and go to Greece, look, you got to have that second, third, fourth, fifth income stream. Okay. Or you better be a good saver or a good investor, because, sales income alone is not going to get you. It's not going to liberate you. It's not going to create time or financial freedom for you. I don't care how many houses you sell. I just got off a call yesterday with a guy who does 170 million out of Rhode Island. He was the Wall Street Journal #1 agent in 2019. Okay, you can look him up. And, about halfway through the call, and I even predicted it early in the call. I said, you're probably time broke. And then, he was an East Coast guy. So, definitely playing hardball with us a little bit. But he basically said, I think Brian said earlier, I'm time crippled or something. He's like kind of changed up a little bit, but basically he's time broke. He's doing really well financially, but he's time broke, and he's probably physically broke. He's probably hurt physically, certainly mentally. And so, look, be careful what you ask for, folks, because real estate's a tough racket. And even at the highest levels, it's a lot of pressure. You got to give a lot of life force, and you got to kick a lot of butt, and you can't ever stop, and you can't retire on it, because no one's going to buy your signs. No one's going to buy your book of business. Okay. That's a myth. There's no such thing. Okay. So what are you going to have to show for this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 year career called real estate? Well, here's what you're going to have to show for it if you come to EXP. Okay. Obviously, I'll come back to this slide here in a minute, but let me get into, actually, I'm going to skip past the revenue share. I'm going to just get into the stock. Because to me, this is just like, I know how many people have been in real estate. Raise your hand if you've been in real estate for over a year. Okay. How many people over 5 years? Keep your hand there. Okay. How about 20 years? Anybody doing this 20 years or more? So if you've been doing this for any number of years or more, at any other brokers besides EXP, you've probably gotten an award. I've got a couple back here, right? Where is that? Plastic. So I got a nice little plastic top recruiter award. It should be real glass, but it's not. It's got my name on it. It's awesome. I got a great award, #1 recruiter for HomeSmart 2008. Now, if Trenton Johnson was on the call, hey, Christina, you got your awards, right? She's probably got a whole shelf full of those things, right? Can you take those to your stockbroker, by the way? Are you allowed to?
Listen, my portfolio tells me something different than most people's.
Well, right. But prior to that, when you weren't with EXP, could you take your award to your stockbroker and go, hey, Mr. Stockbroker, let me invest this shiny trophy with you, right?
Never.
No. Was it worth any money? Could you
Nope.
cash it in? I mean, you maybe could sell it at a rummage sale, right?
I mean, that thing's pretty heavy. I mean, I could use it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a blunt force weapon, maybe, but
Yeah,
some home
that's it.
protection, right? So
Mhm.
other than that, it's worthless. It feels good. It's a great award. Well, at EXP, if you do that kind of level of production, or actually a number of different trigger points, you actually earn real stock. And this stock trades on the NASDAQ. It's real shares. It's not restricted stock. It's not stock options. Okay, it's real stock. And the way you get stock at EXP is, again, 5 different ways. The first 3, we call them the sustainable equity plan. All right, so that is basically you do a deal, your first deal of the year. Thank you very much. You are now a shareholder. You get $200 worth of stock. So we do that on purpose. We want to make sure everybody who joins is a shareholder. You know, we want to get you into that shareholder vibration level fast. You know, Glenn used to say, Brian, you know, every real estate agent to start a brand and call themselves the CEO of their brand, their vibration levels are going to elevate. So a lot of what you call yourself is who you become or who you are, right? You know, thoughts become, you know, what you think is what you say is what you do becomes your legacy. So you really, at some level, your thoughts become your legacy. And so, you know, thoughts become things. So if you start calling yourself the CEO over time, what do you think you're going to end up being? The CEO. If you call yourself agent number 300 and transaction coordinator, you know, junior executive assistant to the account manager, guess what you're going to be, right? So what do you put on your signature? That matters, right? What do you tell your friends? What do you have on your business card, right? What do you tell your family? Yeah, I'm taking a position over at the red company. You know, they made me an offer. You know, I'm going to go. Or come be a shareholder at EXP, be owner of the company that you work with, that you partner with, right? So like words are important. So what you call yourself is important. Guess what? I go to shareholders events. I wear little pocket squares in my jacket now, right? You know, I didn't always do that. So, you know, you just start thinking different. You start eating at nicer restaurants. You start elevating. You start staying at nicer hotels. You start surrounding yourself with nicer things. And all of a sudden, guess what? Your client, the price point of your clientele goes up too, by the way, right? You hang out with rich people, you sell expensive houses. Okay. So at the very least, right? So shareholders are the richest of rich, right? I mean, most of the wealth in this world is either gained through business interests or real estate. So, you know, it's a big deal. So, all right. So you get stock when you do your first deal every year. You get stock when you cap. So you get $400 worth of stock when you cap at EXP, and you get $400 worth of stock for everybody you sponsor when they do their first deal at EXP. So those are awesome. You know, right now we're trading at what, $50 a share? Actually, I didn't even look. I should have looked. I didn't look. I usually look. $50 a share is my guess. $49.69. So we're up $2. So, you know, if you got $200 worth of stock, that's 4 shares of stock. Okay. If you wait 6 months and now we're trading at $100 a share, guess what? Now you only get 2 shares for closing that first deal. So that's another reason not to wait to join this thing, because the more the stock goes up, the less we get. So just think about that. All right. But so those 3 the equity plan, we call it sustainable equity plan. Those are vested over a 3-year period. So if you're a team builder, an organization builder, or you will become one, that's a great way to keep your efforts in place. You know, if you're bringing people in and they're getting these little stock awards and they got to wait 3 years for them to mature, guess what? They're not going to leave your team, your organization, your downline. So it's a great way to keep people around. We also have another award called the Icon Award. I'm going to skip that. I'm going to go to the last award, and then I'll come back to the Icon Award. So the last, it's not even an award, the Agent Equity Program. So this is actually like an employee stock program, right? So in some companies and industries, they call them ESOPs. Right, it's a matching fund. It's a 401k situation, right? So you basically will take 5% of your gross commission and you will put it towards buying discounted EXP stock. All right, so money will come out of your commission disbursement form, and it will go towards buying you stock at a 10% discount. And it's automatically tracked. We have a back-end system called Morgan Stanley ShareWorks. It's all above board. It's all transparent. We're regulated by the federal government. And so, you know, we're audited, we're regulated. And so you get your stock. By the way, you bought it, you own it, it's yours. You can sell it tomorrow as soon as it hits your account. Okay. And you get it, and you made money just buying it. by the way, right? If even if it doesn't go up a penny, you made money. Now, what if it goes up? Now it could go down too. And by the way, I'm not an insider of EXP. Nothing I say is official company business. I'm just a retired shareholder, a very large shareholder, but I'm just a retired shareholder. I'm nothing I say is official company business. Okay. All right. So with that said, let me talk about the Icon Agent Award. The Icon is the best award you can get. The Icon is you basically get your $16,000 back as stock. So as you sell a significant amount of houses or do a significant amount of units, you can actually earn back your cap in the form of shares of EXPI stock. We trade under the ticker EXPI. Used to be EXP World, or now it used to be EXP International. Now it's EXP World Holdings Inc. But our ticker was EXPI. And stock's awesome. All right, like it's the greatest. Talk about. By the way, you start building that stock, you start building that rev share, which I'm going to talk about next. Then, once you get those things building, you can kind of you don't have to keep building them, right? They kind of start to build themselves, and that's the beauty of it. I was at the gym the other morning. I've been trying to go 6 days a week, 6 a.m. And I'm sitting there working out on the treadmill or whatever, and I look at my stock and I was checking my rev share and I'm like, this is great. My money's working for me while I'm working on me, and could you ask for a better scenario? I literally got to work on myself for 3 hours. I got to take a steam, a sauna, hit the ice bath, worked out, ran the treadmill, networked, probably recruited 2 or 3 people that day. And I made money in the market and I made money in revenue share. I was more productive than if I would have been sitting in somebody's open house or something, right? So to me, put your money to work ASAP so that eventually your money works for you while you do other things. Okay. And so the stock, the Agent Icon Award, that's if you do about 15 million or 500,000 GCI or 20 deals after cap. All right. You get your 16K back. I want to put that award in perspective. Is there anybody in here who's an Icon, by the way, or got Icon? Christina, you got Icon, didn't you? How many years have you gotten Icon, by the way? I don't know. She must have stepped away. Anybody else Icon? I'm just kind of going through the audience here, seeing if anybody. But those Icons are very happy. Let me tell you what.
Did you ask me? I did last year, and I'm about to hit it again this year.
So you hit it last year, about to hit it again this year. It's a pretty awesome award, right?
I can't think of a better award to get where you can make more than 100% at your brokerage.
Have you done the numbers on what your $16,000 invested cap is worth today?
I have not, but my entire portfolio, I was going back through yesterday with that agent, and it is just insane. My very first award, it was 150 shares at $7.
What's your current, how many shares you got right now?
Well, let me pull this up. Hold on, I'll tell you.
So while you're doing that, let me run you through. If you would have been an Icon agent with us in the first year we did it, it was like 2015. You would have taken your $16,000. You would have divided by average stock price that year was 30 cents. So I'm divided by 30. It would have been 53,000 shares times 2 because we split last year. So if you didn't sell any of it, you'd have had 106,000 shares. That's now trading at, we'll call it 49.69. So it'd be 5.3 million.
It's crazy.
Right?
I have 2,043 shares, but I also sold 500 shares about two years ago. Don't shoot me.
Well, let's call it 2,500. Let's call it 2,500.
Yeah.
50. It's 125K. So how long have you been with EXP?
3.5 years.
So I'm going to take out, what is that? 30, 42, 48K. So I'm going to take out your 16K each year. So you're still up $77,000.
Yeah.
So a lot of people go, well, I can't do 80-20. Well, wait a minute. What split is Christina on? Right? She was, she's like 100% plus.
I
Right.
made 118% last year with my rev share on my stocks. This year, it's going to be significantly more. So it
She's
is
100% plus. So, I mean, if you're
over.
saying I got to be at 100% shop, like, how about come be at our 100% plus 100% X shop?
If you're a
Right.
producing agent, 100% brokerage, you're losing money. It makes no sense.
Yeah. And by the way, you're building their brand. You're sending their kids to college. You're letting them fly off on jets. And then if you need to make more money and you're just a salesperson at a real estate broker's, what do they tell you to do?
Just sell more houses.
Yeah. Hey, you know what that translates to me? Go work harder.
Go make me some more money. Go buy my
Yeah,
house.
but-
Go buy
but-
my new Porsche.
But what it really is saying is you're not working hard enough,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, and I really like that. I love that you drive that point home. That agent that I was talking to yesterday, she's like, I'm just so sick of everything being around at my success in this industry on just my production. Success is not just measured by that, right? We have to sell, but so many.
Yeah, look, I've been in, okay, so, I've been in real estate 16 years. And, if you were to say I sold over the 16-year period, I sold 100 million, okay? That'd be a pretty good career, right? So I'm just going to divide 100 million.
Yeah.
I'm doing this in real time, folks. I haven't thought of this before. So if 100 million divided by 16 years, that's 6 million a year in sales. Does that anyone think that's a bad year? Right? I mean, that's a pretty solid year, 6 million a year. That would be if I did 0.03, it's about 187 gross commission a year. Okay, 200K gross commission. Who would right now, if I said I'll give you 200K gross commission a year, who would take that? Okay, everybody would, right? That's great year. All right, so that's selling 100 million over the last 16 years. I made 100 million. Like, I'll show you my stock account. I made 100 million over the last 16 years. I didn't sell 100 million. Now, guess what? Guess what lists I don't show up on, Christina? The top producer list.
Right, real producer.
Yeah, I ain't anywhere in Real Trends,
Does that hurt your ego? Because it doesn't hurt mine.
I love it. I don't care. No, I'd rather have the money.
I know. It's like literally, I tell my agents, like, seriously, like, I could sell 1 billion houses if I wanted
So
to.
who are you going to go listen to? Some broker that's getting paid $60, 60 grand a year, or a guy that makes 60 grand a month, has 60 million in stock, and is going to end up doing $1 million a month in revenue share in 2 or 3 years, or sooner, right?
Just
so
math.
like, whose coaching do you want to take? You want to go? Anybody want to go back and talk to their broker real quick and see if what I say adds up? You want me to run your broker through the numbers? I'll be happy to, because he'll end up coming over he'll end up coming over, and then you'll be under that. So run back to your broker and ask them about EXP and see what they tell you, or take my word for it. Right? Let's go through the rev share, because that's the stock. If you have any question on stock, you can punch them in the text chat, and Marisa or Matt will read them. I'm just going to go rev share calculator. You guys can all do this at home. Rev share calculator, not revenue share calculator. Rev, REV, share calculator.com. Maybe someone can put that in the text chat for us. And so, listen, I'm going to be sensitive to everybody's time. I'm just going to put in a real modest scenario. I'm going to put in four deal a year agent. Does about 250 a deal. Okay. They deal in double wides, and they specialize in double wides and manufacture homes. And then we're going to put, average agent, or we'll put 2.5% average commission. And then we'll say, let's say you're really, really not good at this, and you hide EXP, you don't tell anybody about it, but you at least had 4 cross sales. So maybe you just bring it in your first year, the 4 people you did deals with. Okay. So I'm just going to put 4, right? You introduce them to me, Christina, you got them on the phone with Judd, you got them on the phone with somebody at EXP, Glenn, Jason, somebody that's, Dave Kennard, their mega team. You get them out with the mega team, growth team, whatever. Take them to a presentation, take them to a class, take them to a clubhouse, take them to this Zoom call every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific. And you get 4 of them to sign up in your first year. And let's say they're really bad at this and they only bring in 1 friend with them. So at the end of your first year, you've got 4 really small producers and that aren't so good at bringing people over. Okay, so that's going to be your rev share at the end of the year. So that's a total yearly rev share, right? So $3,700. All right. But I did that on purpose because I want to show you the power of this model. Every 5 people you personally sponsor, watch what happens. So see that level 2 money, you're just getting a little teeny piece. If I go back to this, you'll see that there's 2 different payout structures for the revenue share. You get a piece for everybody in your downline, you get a little piece, and then you get a big piece if you can start bringing in 5, 10, 15, 20 people. So let me see where that slide is that has the double payouts. I think was this one, I thought. So, or wait, here it is. All right. So if you see, you're getting 3.5% off that front line. So if I go back to the revenue share calculator, that's why you're getting that $3,500, right? So so you're getting 3.5% off of everybody in your front line, whether you bring in 1 or 100. Okay, bring in 100, but whether you bring in 1 or 100, shoot for 100. And then if you have somebody in your level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, level 7, you get a little piece of every transaction, no matter what. Okay. But if you look at that level 2 number, there's a bigger number over here. We call it the exponential share. If you can just bring in 1 more person, right? If you go back to this scenario, if you can just turn that 4 into a 5, okay, all I did was add 1 person to your front line. And then by proxy, you get 1 in your second line. So you've got 10 people. Watch that 200 number. Okay. Now you're $9,000. You got 10 people making $9,000 a year. Okay, hey, you know what? That's a semester of state school. That's a couple cell phone bills. That's a couple car payments, right? Maybe help towards a mortgage, maybe a trip to Jamaica, whatever, right? And that's if they don't bring in anybody. Watch this. They're going to start bringing in their sister. They're going to bring in their cousin. They're going to bring in their mother-in-law, whatever, right? They'll bring in 11 mother-in-laws, and then they're going to bring in them. And so let's say you just got people under everybody, but only 1 person at each level. So you got 5 on level 1, 5 on level 2, 5, 5, 5 all the way through. Okay, still, you didn't get a big jump. Why didn't you get a big jump though? What number has to change? That front line number. People you personally sponsor, people that put your name on the ICA. So when you sign somebody up at EXP, you got to make sure they put your name on that ICA. It's like the most important piece to attraction. Okay. It's like Glenn Ross. He said, your job is to get them to sign on the line that is dotted. That's the key right there to attraction. It's getting them to name you as the sponsor. Okay. By the way, your competition isn't Compass. It isn't Remax. It isn't Keller. It isn't any of them. It's me. Okay. No, it's other EXP agents, right? That's your biggest competition. So but because we got the best model, you 100%, if you're not 100% believe that this is the best model for you and your family, you're not going to be a good attractor, right? You got to be 100% all in. You got to eat, sleep, and breathe this. Okay. You got to wear the gear, fly the flag, put it on your website, put it on your business card, tell everybody, recruit everybody, not just real estate agents.
Put on your license plate.
Put on your license plate. Just tell everybody about it. I tell the Starbucks barista about it. I tell the nail tech that does my mani-pedis. I told I talk about it in the gym room, the steam room, the weight room. I'm talking about it with everybody, and a lot of people are interested. You'd be surprised. I mean, and by the way, if they're not interested, they all know real estate agents. Half of them are married to them, or have parents that are, or kids that are, or work with. And by the way, the more successful people guess what? The more successful real estate agents they know. Your doctor, your lawyer, your attorney, right? So everybody knows real estate agents. They put the pictures on their cars. Right next to their pictures are their little phone number and emails. I'm in Arizona, and you've all heard this joke a million times, but I say I could hit a 3-wood into that tree and 3 real estate agents will follow. Okay. All right. So let's say your second. So let's say, all right, watch this. Watch level 3. I'm going to make it 10. So maybe after your second year, you got 10 people that you've introduced to this company. Now you're making $28,000 a year, right? That's awesome. You're crushing it. You're getting paid through 3 levels. $28,000 a year is like closing in on the, average salary in the United States for working 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year. Or you can recruit 10 people over the next 2 years and be making the same level of money. But guess what? They're not just going to recruit 1 people. They're going to start bringing in people. who bring in people. So let's just make your growth matrix 2. That's reasonable. And they're just bringing in 1 a year. Okay. 1 person a year. And now look at your cash flow. Okay. Your cash flow is crushing it. Dare I say, very few people in the world make this kind of money in a cash flow situation, right? I mean, that's 15K a month or something. How much is that a month? 180 divided by 12. So yeah, it's pretty good money, right? So, but here's the deal. Let's even just put this at 25. 5 a year for 5 years, and your rest of your downline just gives up. They stop doing it, right? So, now, did I put in any unreasonable numbers? By the way, these people are terrible at selling houses. Y'all are terrible at recruiting if you only bring in 5 a year. We're bringing in 5 a week, but we're trying to bring in 5 a week. That's our goal, right? 5 a week. But it takes time, takes effort. Now here's the thing. I just want to share with everybody. You're not recruiting them to you. Don't make this mistake. There's a couple classic mistakes. Like if you're excited to do this, let me just give you some really great coaching right now. You're not selling them on coming to work for the Judd Fox real estate brokerage. Okay. You're selling them on coming to work for EXP, and that's what's going to change their life. That's what's going to allow them to make more money than most real estate agents. That's what's going to set up their family and future generations through the stock and the revenue share wealth creation tools. But you want to get them on the phone with me, get them on the phone with Judd, get them on the phone with whoever invited you on this call. Okay. Because they understand how to explain it. They understand how to walk through this rev share calculator. So don't make this mistake of, I got to get my sales business up. I got to learn the ropes of EXP. I got to learn everything about EXP before I have one conversation. Because here's the reality. Trying to explain EXP in a 90-minute Zoom call is like trying to explain what a smartphone can do for you. Okay. And I didn't plan that. I swear that was totally random. But that's what it can do for you, right? It's a lot. It can do a lot for you. Okay. Tools, training, support, marketing, education, collaboration. I would put collaboration, international collaboration, as the 4th, possibly one of the best aspects of EXP, because really your network is your net worth. And to have this kind of collection of, by the way, shareholder partners, friends, that aren't just like, wearing the same jersey as me, but ultimately we're fighting over the same deals. No, we're actually partners. We're actually shareholder partners. We're actually a very tight-knit group of people at EXP. We all, you come to our conferences, you come to our events. We like to have fun. We like to do cool stuff, and we like to win. And so we're a culture of success. As a matter of fact, we just bought Success magazine somewhere on my desk here. So we like to win. We're a culture of success, right? What's our culture? How can they have a culture? They don't have offices. Yeah, we do. We're a culture of creating millionaires. Okay. It's pretty awesome. I mean, I'm sure you got some awesome cultures at your office. I'm sure you guys are crushing on every level. Congratulations. I love it. I really do. I mean, it's hard to crush it in real estate, by the way. It's a tough racket. It's a chew you up, spit you out, and not pat you on the back kind of business. And it's like I'll save my other Glenn Ross line, but if you remember, he walks out from behind his briefcase and he goes, "You know what it takes to sell real estate?" We'll go look it up. It's a great line in the movie, but it really does. It takes a lot of chutzpah, and it takes a lot of life force to do this. And that's why, we work on ourselves, we work hard on ourselves, but we play hard. We have a lot of fun. We're bringing in friends and family. So I hope everybody on here wants to come partner with us. Probably a good chance you'd be in my downline, although I do have a lot of people who are, orphans and friends of the program that are from other downlines. So we're a very open organization. We love all of our EXP partners. There's no bad choice, by the way. The choice is to join EXP, and you're going to have to do the work. If anybody's promising to do it for you or promising you some dollar amount that you're going to make at some point, by the way, folks, you could join EXP and make zero rev share, zero sales. I mean, there's a few people that I know that are goose eggs. And so, no promises, but if you do the work and you hit it hard for the next couple of years, sky is the limit. And I'm telling you, if you can find a better opportunity to make more money and set my family up for more success, I'll make you another guarantee. I'll go with you guys. Okay. If you can find another deal where I can make more money, put more wealth in my family trust that I'm going to leave behind for many generations to come, I will friggin' leave EXP and I will come with you. Okay. So Christina, you want to jump in and share a little bit about your story and your background, since you've been such an awesome wingwoman for this call?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously waved the EXP flag proud. It's changed my entire life. Honestly, partnering with this company was not an easy decision for me. I started in real estate as a franchise. It didn't work. I went to an investment firm shortly after 8 months and built a good little business working with a lot of investors and learning the ropes in real estate. And a person that worked with me at that company told me about EXP. Actually, he bugged the hell out of me about EXP until I sat down and did the math with him, and I realized the money I was leaving on the table. And my husband said something that's still shocking to me today. He said, my loyalty is not to the broker or the brokerage, because I was feeling a lot of guilt about leaving. He said it is to our family. And that rocked me, and I couldn't sleep. And I came to EXP very soon after that. And honestly, for me, it's been the best business decision I've ever made in my life. I have made the best realtor partners. Even though we have a cloud office, we don't have a brick and mortar, I've had the best connections with people globally, more so than I ever had sitting in an office right next to them. And so this business has changed my mindset. Working with other agents that get it in a space where you talk about our culture is unlike anything anybody has ever seen. And that's why it's so important for me to never miss a company event and to bring people to share that and to understand and to feel what we feel. And I get to help agents cross that bridge and to financial freedom, essentially, and getting to do what they want. What Glenn says, his definition of success every day is to get up and do what he wants, when he wants, where he wants, how he wants to do it, and when he wants to do it. That is mine. And so, life is all about choices, and it's all about the things that we choose to do every day. I get to get up every day. I get to do this for work. I'm still very much in transaction mode. I've only been licensed 7 years. I love that part, but I get to choose who I work with. I get to, like, I don't need to have commission breath when I'm working with clients, because I'm not worried, because I have multiple streams of income coming in to pay the bills. Listen, if I get hurt and sick and I can't work, I know that my family is taken care of. There is no price you can put on that. Absolutely no price you can put on that.
Why do anything else? Right. I mean, what are we getting up every morning for and punching clocks for and picking up shovels and digging ditches? And, I have a mentor who said, Brian, he's given me, he has two great lines. He said, number one, get rich slowly. Right. And number two, he said, Brian, after 30 years of digging ditches, you're an overnight success. And, but the thing is, I dug ditches for frickin' 30 years. And real estate is a ditch digging, bush beating, door knocking, knuckle raking experience, a white knuckling, driving around, putting a hole in your elbow because you're, driving around showing buyers so much. And by the way, if you can't get in and out of cars, like when I talked about having a hip injury and not being able to walk 6 months, I didn't have that in my business plan. That wasn't part of my financial planning, was to not be able to walk. It was a freak accident. I was taking a stupid mountain bike around the block and went head over heels and broke my hip in half. And so, what's your plan? What's your backup plan, right? What's your emergency contingency fund, look like?
When when life shows you, curveballs, like, what are you going to do?
Well, you have this as a backup. And I just want to say, because I have several people in here, it does work if you work it. Brian, your leadership is terrific. And I think the most important thing is when you recruit people, all really they have to do, you want them to sell as much as they can. You want them to become an icon. But the real truth is, in order for them to qualify on your line, you need to make sure that people sell a couple of houses a year. That is
Right.
it. There's not a
Yeah,
lot
and by the way, Suzanne, can I touch on that? Because that makes you,
Sure.
like Suzanne pours into her organization more than anybody I've ever met. I mean, she's probably my top attraction person in my entire organization. She's got, thousands of people in her organization. She's responsible for recruiting thousands to EXP, except she was the broker for the first 6 years or 5 years or whatever. And so we wouldn't be at EXP. We wouldn't have an EXP if it wasn't for Suzanne. And so she retired from brokers, and she's been getting after expanding her organization. But here's the whole point. It doesn't do her any good to sign you up and then not pour into you. Because if you're not productive, what do we always say? If you're not making money, we're not making money. So we're invested in your success. And so Suzanne will do things like she'll put agents on deals. She'll help them, she'll help them get a referral. She'll invest more of her money into lead generation to feed her team. And I do the same thing. I mean, my wife and I don't even want to tell you how much money we spend on our teams and our organizations and doing events and doing videos and all that stuff. I mean, we are a multi-million-dollar, we spend millions a year, and we're trying to create $1 billion organization inside of a multi-billion-dollar organization. And we're having a lot of fun too. So what else, Suzanne?
and everybody knows that we reported our earnings in the last, just in the last quarter, we had $2 billion in credit, and we are a debt-free company. In profit. I mean, it's just unbelievable, you all. This is such a winning situation, and everyone here is so blessed to have this opportunity, and just take it and go with it.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Yeah, I mean, basically, the time is now. Here's the reality. I mean, and I want to see if anybody has any questions. Anybody typed any questions in the text chat, by the way?
Yeah, definitely. Brian, we're getting some questions on maybe you could just go over quickly the fees of EXP monthly and
Sure.
technology we offer back for it.
Sure, 100%. So, and again, super low cost. We've always been this way. We've always maintained a very low cost, low bar of entry. So basically, I'm just going to find that slide for everybody real quick so we can just see visually. Most of us are visual learners. So let me make sure you guys can see that. Share my screen. Here we go. So it's 140. Look on the right side. It's 149 to sign up. It's 85 a month. Your first 149 includes your first 85. Okay, so that's so it's your second month. It's 85, and then it's 85 a month after that. It's $25 broker review fee, $40 risk E&O management, which caps at 500. Okay, so super low cost, super low fees. But then we're an 80-20 split, which caps at 16. It's not a cap on you, it's a cap on the company, how much they're going to take from you. So the company is capped at 16,000. In other words, once you do about 3 million in sales, or say maybe call it 80,000 in GCI for your anniversary year, you go to 100% commission for the rest of that anniversary year. So if you cap out in your first 2 months, now you got 10 months at 100%. Okay, capping out is 3 million. In some of these markets, I know out here in Scottsdale, I mean, that's 3 houses, right? So it's not super hard to cap. Oh, by the way, you get stock when you cap, so you don't just get a flimsy little trophy, right? You get an actual stock award, and then if you do, so once you go to 100, this is a very important point, by the way, and then we'll go to the next question. Once you hit 100, go to 100%, then it's a $250 fee. All right, and that's it, just $250. But that fee is capped at 5,000, and then that is hitting icon. So if you can pay that second 5,000 cap, you get your first 16 back as stock. All right, so that's called being an icon. So you could literally, I've seen people do it with rental deals. Okay. So it's kind of cool. It's a cool deal. What was the second question, Matt?
Second question,
technology.
We'll talk about some of our technology, our lead gen, or KV Core, some of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Do we have anybody on the call who might even be able to explain what KV Core is doing for them even better than me? Let's see. Who's on here today? Angie, are you using KV Core at all? No,
Marilyn Dash.
Jeff, wait, hey, I know who's using it. Jeff Hannon, can you give us a quick run through on KV Core and why that's so powerful?
Absolutely. Yeah. KV Core is a top of the line lead conversion website. You have your own front end website that's consumer facing. You can customize it, make it look how you want. And then on the back end is all the lead conversion. So it's text, email. You can do bomb video drops, voicemail drops. And its sole purpose is to convert these leads into a conversation with you. And it's the automation and the AI is amazing. It watches what houses they save. If they look at a house 5 times, they get an email. Hey, I noticed you looked at 123 Main Street. Would you like some more information on that neighborhood? And it's just it does a great job of telling you who you need to reach out to, because the people are answering questions from the AI and saying, yeah, I'm an investor, or I'm looking for a house for me and my kids. And then you take it from there. It's killer. I've had people go register at new construction sites with my name based solely on the automated emails that go out. Like, I'm terrible at lead follow-up, honestly. Every day they're getting an email with my name at the bottom. So when they walk into KB Homes, it's, hey, do you have a real estate agent? Oh yeah, it's Jeff Hannon. And it's an incredible system. I love it. I would pay it.
It does everything you need. I mean, Glenn and
Yep.
I've been doing this for a long time, folks. And we used to have to like take an IDX system and buy a CRM system. And I used to have to Dropbox email leads into the CRM system. And I had to make sure they were all communicating. I had to go set up all the drip campaigns myself and write all the emails and build all the stuff and figure out what time they all go off. Or now it all just comes in one package called KV Core. And you don't have to do any of it. And you literally get a lead. It sets them up on a drip. It automatically text messages them from your cell phone. Like, you're not doing any of it. It's doing it for you. So the reason why technology in real estate is so important is because your number one job is to make all your clients feel like they're your only client. And if you can't leverage technology, you can't do it. You can't do it with sticky notes and spiral notebooks. Okay. You got to have a robust database. Glenn used to say, if you have 1,000 honest to goodness leads in your database, you got $1 million database. He's a CRM junkie. We've tried them all. Okay, this is the best CRM system in the world. It's an IDX meets a CRM meets AI and all the other stuff that Jeff just went through. Jeff, how much would this cost you a year if you weren't with EXP?
About $6,000 a year. It's $500 a month right now, I think.
So almost a little more than a third of your cap, if you're even a capper in one tool, right? So that's
and you got to
awesome.
commit to a year. So you can't just test it out for a month. You got to commit to a year on that too.
But it's worth it, and then you can pay for PPC stuff through it. You can do Make It Rain through it. There's all kinds of great lead gens, because your website alone is not going to get you leads. I mean, it will get you a few, but you got to now get the website into the race, which is the PPC world, which is Google ads, Facebook ads, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, I'm sorry, the search engine optimization game is over. I mean, you can still try and trick it by using video and, YouTube stuff, but, the days of, meta tags and link exchanges are over for you SEO guys out there, girls out there. All right. So you have all kinds of great tools. Some other cool tools I just want to point out right quick are Workplace. This is actually an extension of our 3D office. As a matter of fact, I should probably just log into that real quick too, because that's super cool. And Matt, if you got other questions, just read them off while I'm doing some of this stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, someone asked, can you convert your current database to KV Core? I replied, yes, it's super simple. I mean, they're top tier KV lead gen.
Yeah, and that's a great question, but it leads to a different answer that I think is very important. Is we coach to KV Core. If you just Google EXP Realty Calendar, I'll share it with you here too. But EXP Calendar, go check out some of the classes we coach and teach to. I mean, it's pretty impressive stuff. I would put our coaching and training calendar, and it's all live. It's all in the cloud. You can literally pick something on anything, any aspect of real estate.
That you bring up a good point, Brian. As an Icon agent, Christina, I mean, you're required to offer classes and teach to our agents, correct?
Absolutely. Not just anybody can teach at EXP. It's actually kind of difficult. You have to show that you're a producing agent and very knowledgeable to teach in our cloud office. So it's actually really good. Not just anybody with a pulse can teach.
Well, you know why that's important? Because I've been in this game for a while now, and there's a lot of sales trainers out there. There's a lot of real estate coaches and trainers out there, and few of them are still actively doing it. And so this industry, if you've been in real estate for more than a couple of years, you realize that stuff moves fast. And what you're using today, you are not going to be using 9 to 18 months from now. And, you know, technology changes, and it's blog today. No, it's vlogging tomorrow. And no, get a webcam. No, use FaceTime. No, use live, use Insta, use TikTok now. Someone told me the TikTok, I got to be on TikTok more. And, you know, it's like the stuff never ends. And so why would you want a trainer that hasn't sold a house in 20 years telling you how to sell houses versus somebody who's doing 150 million a year in San Diego, you know, or a Christina Swires who's doing, you know, ungodly numbers down in St. Louis. So, you know, you would want to be taught by those folks. So we have all these anything with an icon in it is an icon run training session. Okay. And we've got probably thousands of icons at this point, wouldn't you say? So that's our calendar, but let me show you where you take your classes. This is super cool too. Watch this. So I'm going to stop the share and do one more share. And listen, we'll do this for a little bit longer. If you got more questions, you got to drop. And if anybody's ready to rock, I mean, we always love people that are all in. You know, I'm making myself super available. You know, I've got a lot of people in my organization, but we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff. You know, we do a lot of leadership, a lot of give back stuff. We're having a big event in Vegas in November where I'm bringing in my 200 leaders. We're renting out a speakeasy at the Cosmo. I'm going to have all of our, you know, the brass from EXP. A lot of my celebrity downline will be there. Some of my pro athletes will be there. So we're going to be doing a really cool event. And so the only way to get in there is to win and get into that event. Sorry, Mom, if you don't sell houses, you can't come. But basically, you know, we're going to make this kind of our new model is we're going to be sharing the gold with the tribe, but you know, you got to elevate as we elevate. And that's why we're elevating. I'm elevating so that you can point to me and go, I'm with that person, or I'm with Christy and Brian, or I'm with Christina and, you know, that organization, or I'm with Judd Fox, or I'm with Jeremy, you know, whoever, right? Chris, I'm with Suzanne. I'm with one of the best. I'm with an alpha, right? Congratulations, Suzanne, on getting added to the alpha influencers group.
Yeah, I see Christina Crichton in here. Maybe she could speak to, you know, who she's partnered with, you know, what she's doing. She's doing some big stuff down in Miami.
Yeah. Hey, Christina.
Hey guys.
Want to share your testimonial real quick?
Well, I think I've only been in EXP for about 6-7 weeks. I mean, I just like all in, like, let's go. Just really rebranding, just really being omnipresent. Everything that Grant Cardone teaches, I'm really applying towards EXP. I mean, he did decide to partner with another billion-dollar company. So kind of modeling after what he's doing with Elena, and Elena's doing big things. So, I mean, we just had our meeting, a couple days ago, and she's just throwing crazy ideas after having conversations with Stormy Wellington about what she's doing with.
And Christina, maybe talk about just how you've leveled up just being in this orbit and what you've seen and what you've experienced being around other EXP people. Like, what have you witnessed and experienced in the last couple months?
I mean, everybody's giving all they got and learning and pushing to the next level. I mean, I love this. It makes me, I feel like I'm not doing enough every day and then I run out of time. And then everybody in this community is just pumping each other up and supporting, answering questions and sharing ideas. How can we grow? How can we go faster? How can we go bigger? I don't know. I feel like I'm oozing this glow from just how passionate people are about this company.
Yeah. And also could be that you're down in Miami and everybody's oozing the glow in Miami, right? Yeah, but so that's awesome, Christina. Great testimonial. And I just want to, as I'm kind of going through this, I just popped into the busy Miami office. Geez, you guys are cranking in here right now. So this is actually the Florida Brokers Support Office. So there's multiple state brokers, managing brokers, transaction coordinators, et cetera, et cetera. If they're not physically in here, or there's a line, you can take a ticket. I could literally take a ticket, go bounce around, take in a quick class or a half a class, wait till my number's called, and then I could literally be over at the boats, cruising around, seeing if Glenn's in his office real quick. Let's go buzz Glenn's office real quick, see if Glenn's actually in the office. And but I could be literally taking a boat ride. I could be up here, having a meeting with an executive, and all of a sudden when my ticket gets called, it'll transport me right back to the meeting. And so it's kind of a cool setup. Again, a lot of the executive offices up here. I think Glenn has the best view here at the corner. Let's just see. Let's see. I'm testing. But so so this is kind of our space. I mean, we do a lot of stuff in here. It's really high engagement. It's a great team building tool. It's a great collaboration tool. Oh, by the way, it's part of the stock. So we own this platform. And so, when everyone else was getting kicked out of work, when everybody else was not able to go to an office, especially during this recent pandemic and all that stuff, we were still able to take classes, meet with our broker, meet with our staff, have our own meetings, meet with clients, meet with international clients, investors, sellers, buyers, etc. I didn't even have to leave the comfort of my own home. And oh, by the way, it's germ-free. Okay. So it's a pretty awesome tool. It is no longer a gimmick. A lot of people made fun of us because we use this, and now we say we were built for this. It has completely validated us. As a matter of fact, we're even considered, and I think our stock, I don't know, Jeremy, are you on the call? Jeremy Moss?
Yeah, I'm here.
So do you want to talk about how well our stock performed just in the last year and even take us up to yesterday?
Yes, sure. So, the stocks, the numbers are pretty insane. I worked for an electronic trading company for about 20 years. So I've got, probably a couple hundred different funds and individual stocks in my portfolio. EXP has really outperformed all of them. 2020 was gangbusters. I have a good amount of stock myself. And like Brian said, the pandemic was unfortunate, but, preparation met opportunity when it came to EXP and this technology. We're prepared for the future, and everything that's happened with, the unfortunate shutdowns and different ways people are having to learn to work is something that again, we were built for. So all through last year, the stock, I think at the peak, it was something like 15 times, so 1,500% return. I think Tesla was close. Snapchat is another one that's done well lately, but as of yesterday now, 35%, all based on, earnings, productivity, the agents that are coming over. We just passed 60,000 agents. So, those agents coming over lead to deals. What was it? $1 billion or some insane number in productivity that we did. So that led to a 35% increase yesterday. Today's up again. So it's pretty insane. We try not to get too caught up in the stock price because it does come back to productivity. But yesterday was huge because it really proved everything that happened last year. This year has been up and down in the technology sector, in the real estate sector. We're a very diversified company. So when something good happens in the industry, EXP benefits. Obviously, when EXP does something good, like yesterday, when we destroyed earnings, we're up 35%. I haven't looked today, but it sounds like we're up another maybe 5-10%. So we're publicly traded. We have eyes on us from that standpoint. We're GAAP profitable every quarter. Glenn made that commitment a long time ago, and now you're starting to see that with the earnings beats and the results, and just really outperforming what are already outsized expectations for our company.
Yeah, no, it's mind blowing. And again, I'm just a busboy and a caddy from Chicago, right? I'm just a sales guy. But this model is so epic. We're just getting started. We'll add more people in the next 12 months to EXP than we added in the last 11 years. So think about that for a second, right? So if you think you missed the boat, we look at some of the names of people. We got Tarek El Moussa, Elena Cardone, all right, #1 team in Scottsdale, Jeff Seabach team. I mean, these are just people in my organization. These aren't, Suzanne Fuqua, right? First state broker, Joe Schumer, first state broker in New Mexico, Katie Spaniak, #1 team in Chicago, Darren James, #1 team in Louisiana, Cardone, the 10X group, the program, which Judd's sitting in, that's a bunch of pro athletes out of Chicago who play for the Chicago Bears, right? Titan Realty Group, Clifton and Trenton Johnson out of Dallas. These guys are, I think they got like a 200-person team at this point, like seriously, sales team. I mean, it's just on and on and on. And we're just getting started. I mean, we're literally still ground floor. You're actually in my private team suite right now. So, you can rent these. You can use all kinds of free spaces. There's Marisa. This is my sales team. So I have a sales team here in Arizona called AZ Life Team. We pay for leads, pay for signs, pay for marketing, pay for events, pay for stuff. My wife and I's office here. So listen, I'd love to take all the credit in the world for this, but I'm not that good. The model's that good, and the model just makes me better. It's a personal improvement company disguised as a wealth creation company, disguised as a tech play, disguised as a university, disguised as a real estate company. And so it's more than just making a lateral move. It's more than just changing your license. It's more than just, calling your broker and saying, I'm thinking of going to EXP. I mean, it's EXP is a total game changer. And if it doesn't change your life and future generations, if you hit it hard enough and set it up the way we can show you how to set it up, I do guarantee you will be successful. Okay. Or your money back. So no, but I appreciate everybody for jumping on the call. Again, if you want to ping your sponsor, say, man, I'm all in. This is great. I'm ready to rock. That's the best way for me to learn your name, know who you are. I got thousands of people in my organization. That's going to end up being tens of thousands really soon. We've already, we helped create a company that's already 60,000. That's well on its way to half a billion people. And, if you want us to know who you are, you want to be all in and you want to win. And that's how you'll get our attention. Okay, everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap. Matt, any other parting thoughts, questions, comments that we didn't cover?
Man, I think we're good. Love seeing everybody here today. Thank you so much for coming. Come check out our clubhouse on Wednesdays. It's 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're having amazing guests there. It's really blowing up. I think we had, close to 1,000 people on it with Elena Cardone last Wednesday. We do this call every Thursday. So, come join us. We'd love seeing you.
Yeah. And did we just do that all in an hour?
You crushed it.
God, that felt good. It's
I'm
usually,
impressed.
I just did you all a favor because normally I go 90 minutes easy. All right. So, take the rest of the day off. No, don't take the rest of the day off. Jump in with EXP, or if you're already with EXP, let's get 100 people on next week's call. Because this is what we do, folks. We're here to help each other. We're working together. We're having a blast. Brian Culhane signing off. Thanks, everybody.
We win because we're all in.